Choke No Joke was also on Piers Morgan.
Oh,
now, you know Choke No Joke.
I know Choke No Joke.
I've interviewed him before. I won't interview him again. He talked a whole bunch of crazy nonsense about me afterwards. Because I think, well, if I remember what happened right, I had him on my show once. And, he wasn't talking crazy back then. He basically was talking about being a cameraman for Roc-a-Fella and flying around. And, the most he was saying was like that, like Dame was spending money like crazy. Like they would go to Europe on a private jet, and then they would like go to Amsterdam just to smoke weed on the private jet, and then fly back. And all these jets are costing $25,000, $30,000 a jump, and he was just spending money like crazy. Beyond that, he wasn't really saying anything crazy. But as time went on, he started saying more and more conspiracy theory stuff and whatever else.
I'm gonna tell you what happens though. What happens is people see people going viral saying crazy stuff and making money off of it. And they just like, man, I gotta try this. I mean, I respect it if that's what you're doing just to make money. I mean,
I don't respect it.
I respect
like
because
lying, making up stuff.
The only reason I respect it because I know you could be doing something worse. You know what I mean? To make money. Even though I frown upon it, but I'm respective. You feel like you can't do nothing else, and that's what you got to do to make money. I mean, but when people start believing what they're saying and trying to make people like and taking it serious, I just like, come on, man. I mean, but I haven't been seeing nothing that Choke No Joke done lately. I mean, so I don't know but I'm just saying, like in general, like people just doing anything to go viral. I mean, like the guy, like, all these guys is going viral to saying anything on the internet that people trying to be like that. I mean, is it being successful with it?
Well, look, we were talking about this before the interview. Do you think that people really believe these crazy conspiracy theories and they're a little bit slow and kind of dumb?
Some people are dumb.
Or do people not really believe it, but it's fun?
It's funny. It's fun,
and you could run along with these stories, and there's videos, and you gotta go down a rabbit hole, and it's all like, it's kind of like watching a movie. It's all made up, but it's fun to watch. At the same time,
people it may still make you like question it. Well, did they really do that? It make you side eye somebody. I mean, so like it could be. I mean, Jaguar, right? Like at this point, I think like people look at her like they know she's going to come at everybody's necks. I think it's just more funny than taking it serious.
Yeah, she accused me of being a Mossad, which I believe is Israeli secret service.
It is. Vlad, that's a Russian name, right?
Yeah, but I'm also Jewish. You know what I'm saying? So clearly I'm with the Israeli secret service. I mean, where else could I be? But you got to be careful of this shit because it's like, look, the platform that she spoke on that, I could turn around and say, an allegation like that puts my life in danger, especially with the Israeli, Hamas conflict. If people really think that I really am Israeli Secret Service, there might be attempts on my life by like a pro-Palestine, supporter or whatever else. And I may have to go get a bunch of security so I can go and sue this platform for putting out this bullshit.
Yeah, it's so crazy because I had to study about it because I didn't know what the word was about. So I did the whole study, learn about how it started and all that. Mm-hmm. And it's like I don't understand how everybody's supporting anything like as far as like how they killing each other, killing the other people over there. And it's like everybody's like saying that they're right doing it. I mean, I just don't understand.
Who's
like,
right?
They're saying like the Israelis is right for killing the Palestinians because they did something to them first or something. Like,
okay, I could break it down for you.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Israel and I've been to Palestine. So here's basically what happened. That area, which is now Israel,
mm-hmm.
was a colony controlled by the UK.
Yeah, the British. I've read that.
It was British controlled, right? And there was Jews and
Arabs,
mm-hmm. Muslims were there. They would kind of fight a lot, whatever else, but it was basically a British colony, and it just was what it was. When World War II happened, and then the 6 million Jews got killed.
Yeah.
Jude's approached the UN and asked for Israel as the Jewish homeland. UN was fine with it. They gave it to the Jews.
The people was living there though, right?
What's that?
People was already living there though, right?
There was different people living there. There was Jews there. And, Jerusalem was historically a Jewish, city and stuff like that. And at one point it was switching hands over centuries, and mm-hmm. both parties could kind of say at certain points it was their home, depending on how far back you go. You saw, like, for example, when Jesus got killed, Jerusalem was controlled by the Jews, right? Just is what it is. So at the point that Israel became a homeland, the Arab countries all attacked Israel. Israel ended up beating all the Arab countries that attacked them and then took over the land from those countries, and Israel became way bigger, which I don't think was a really good idea at the time. I understand you won the war, but you go and take the land from like Syria and so forth permanently,
Yeah.
you're going to have an enemy for, the next 200 years. So that Gaza area was a little bit gray area, but basically it was the Palestinians were living there and they had an election, and the election was won by Hamas, which is a terrorist group, right? Hamas doesn't actually communicate directly with Israel because they feel that Israel is just occupiers.
Yeah, they had no right
and
to
they
do
want
that.
to be, from the river to the sea means that Hamas wants the Jewish people gone out of that area, just eradicated, killed, gone, so they could take over all of Israel. So there's no communication between these two sides. So at the point that Hamas became the ruling government of Gaza, Israel created somewhat of a blockade, and it became somewhat of an open-air prison where it was hard to get food and supplies and everything else like that. So for like 20 years, you had this group of people that were stuck, that was controlled by a terrorist organization, Hamas, and they got more and more angry, and they started building more and more bombs. Iran was giving them money, and they became more and more pissed off, and then October 7th, they launched an attack against Israel. They launched 2,000 rockets. 1,000 people got killed. Thousands of people went across the border. There was like a big festival. A bunch of people got killed, and hundreds of people got kidnapped. In retaliation, Israel launched rocket attacks and actual ground troops into Gaza, trying to get the hostages back and also trying to kill the people who were attacking. But in the process, a lot of civilians were getting killed as well.
A lot.
And that's the messed up part. So I've always said both sides are wrong. The Hamas side is wrong for their attack of killing a whole bunch of innocent people and doing all these kidnappings. And the Israeli government's wrong for the way they retaliated and end up killing a lot of kids and women and a bunch of people that really have nothing to do with this. So both sides are wrong. It's not an easy answer.
I think the only reason I think Israel more wrong because they got more power.
They do have more power.
Got more power. They got better weapons. So it's up to them. They can say like, listen, you gotta stop this. We gotta. It's just at the end of the day, when kids, I don't care what the politics of it is. When kids get killed, it's just that's when the stuff should stop. I'm talking about. I seen the babies. I was like, yo, this is crazy. But it's like you gotta pick a side. Like it's like when you see the.
I've always said, and I'm Jewish, and I've been to Israel, but I've also been to Palestine. It's like this, like. You could hate Biden, but that doesn't mean you hate all Americans.
Yeah.
So you could hate the Israeli government, but that doesn't mean that you should hate all Jewish people. That's the government. That's Netanyahu and...
That's this war making people not, like, because I never even knew what the thing about Jews was, like, about why they went through so many things. I know about the Holocaust and stuff like that, but I never knew, like, why people felt like, how they felt about Jews. It's like they was almost, like, hated upon it, like, in a lot of places, right?
Yeah.
But now with this war, and making people look at them like, well, this is why. They never thought about Jewish stuff at all. Like when Kanye West said what he said, nobody cared. Nobody black didn't care. We don't even care. Like we don't.
Adidas cared.
Yeah,
Gap cared.
But it's funny that Adidas cares when they was Nazis. I had the book about.
I know. Actually, yeah, the original founders of Adidas were part of the Nazi party. And that's why I think they probably were like, okay, listen, we don't want to be part of this. Yeah. We already have our Nazi ties. We don't want someone to say, go Hitler.
I remember when a black person talk about. That might sound crazy. White people might not believe this, right? I never met nobody black that's really a racist. Even though it's
really?
No, they might have a moment to say, I never met somebody like when I say racist, like I hate all white people. All right, like no matter if they know you or not. Like I never met nobody like that in my whole life. Black people, you'll never see somebody black picking at somebody coming in their neighborhood. You never see somebody black wake up and say, "I'm gonna go to this white church and shoot it up." I never seen nobody black like when as though they almost got They went through enough things that probably could feel like that more than a white person could feel like that. You know what I mean?
You never met anyone black that wouldn't want their daughter dating a white guy?
I don't want nobody dating no guy. Like, probably, you know what I'm saying? But put it this way. Say my daughter had a white boyfriend, husband, whatever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give a fuck.
Right, but that's you.
I'm saying, but most black, all my friends wouldn't give a fuck. As long as he treating her nice. But because we, black people, that's what I'm saying, we're not racist. Like we don't really care about that stuff. It's just that the big deal about it is like a white person that make it racist. Like when a black person, even in prison, they got gangs and all that, but you never see a white guy can come come to a black prison and still be cool as long as he thorough. You know what I mean? You'll never see like, you can't hang with us. Or you can't, it's just not, I never seen that before.
Well,
I mean,
but I thought prisons are racially
that's
segregated.
in LA. LA.
Oh, not New York?
No, I mean Philly. No, it's not. No,
Really?
No. Mm-mm. See, what's how it is? Puerto Ricans and Philly stick together, but it's not. But you can still. I mean, it's not like.
Well, that's like Latin Kings and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
they just really from the same neighborhoods, but it's not like LA got the racists. Like I mean, and Pennsylvania is not like that. I'm just saying, but in general, like I know white people that don't like black people. Like I had a prison guard like that. I mean, he don't like black people to tell you. Like, you see, in prison, they don't gotta act like they keep it real. One time, a guard said, "What do niggas and apples have in common?" I was like, "What?" They both look good hanging from trees.
Damn.
He said it right in a room full of, because it's a joke called Camp Hill. They're trying to provoke you to do something. You mean?